Alrighty, welcome everybody to round four. Let's tell our players that they are good to go, and let's get started with this round four. This is a win and in for I'm So Bad. So if I'm So Bad takes this one, then they will be locked for top eight. Avyoine going to take a mulligan there. I want to pull up Avyone's deck as well because that one looks kind of sweet. Felon Control, not something we've seen tonight, but we've got Felon Control versus Skycrag Aggro. You know, back kind of feels like we got a lot of new toys, but we're going back to the days of just Skycrag Aggro versus Felon Control. Here we go.
On changes, things are more or less the same.
Yeah, we didn't have auto tread those days, but it is different. All right, so starting out with auto tread, Avyone's got a hand of Exploit, Torgov, Channel the Tempest, and one of my favorite ones, Scrap Find Skimmer, the 6-cost 4/4 flying regen. Look at the top 8 cards of your deck and put one back. Love that card.
There's just so many cards, and you don't have to draw the bad cards. Like, it's not just rearranging them. You know, it's not scouting a bunch. It's you draw the best of the 8, and then you don't have to draw any of the others. Exploit here, probably just gonna take this. I guess okay. The options are the Blueprint or the Houndmaster. I don't think you take the Scorcher. You don't have blockers, so it's basically just a 4/2 for 3 or an 8/4 for 5, which can be dealt with later, and I am so bad might not even be able to play it. This turn, not really much action for Avyoine.
Yeah, not very much action for Avyoine. They've just drawn power since then, so they still just have Torgov and the Skimmer. Now, Torgov is a good blocker, big body on that salesman, but unfortunately not really anything doing on turn 3, and that's a critical turn to skip. But Mandevella is a good one to fit in that slot between 4 and 6 here. So Torgov going to hit the board. There's a blocker. I'm So Bad has ways to deal with it, but still going to force I'm So Bad's hand because that's a big blocker there.
Yeah, the Salus and the Crusader can attack pretty freely because the Crusader will draw cards, and the Salus will just kill the Torgov if you play the Flash Fry. And you can also play the Daru Lee afterwards, so it's not like you're taking up your entire turn playing the Flash
Maybe
Fry.
I'm going to line up the block here on the Hidden Crusader, take care of that unit. I think that's a smart block because otherwise getting the free anytime you're blocking mid combat against a big quick draw unit, there's a lot of sketchiness there. But I'm just about actually with the power drawing a Houndmaster can actually play Houndmaster this turn.
I'm too bad should have waited until afterward to play the Flash until after seeing what they drew to play the Flashlight. There's no reason to play it for damage because you don't see the card off the Crusader until after. And I don't know what would change their mind about playing Flash Fry, but hypothetically there exists some card, and there's no downside to waiting there.
Yeah, makes sense. Can you talk me through the Hey Aqua, thank you so much for the raid, much appreciated. Can you talk to me through not playing a unit post combat there?
Not playing around Shelter from or Cover from the Storm or Fall to Ruin. I guess they can't play Fall to Ruin this turn, but if you play one of those units out, cover just 3-for-1s you.
Sure. Okay, so playing around the cover there.
Yeah.
All right, Short Hopper, a nice draw for I'm So Bad here. Gonna discard Icy Gaze. That's one of my favorite synergies in the game right now. Short Hopper, discard Icy Gaze, play it for free, give it flying. Just so much packed into that little package. All right, here comes the Skimmer, though. That's a big one. Now, the regen turned off courtesy of the auto tread, but get to look at 8 cards and put one back. And 8 is, you know how you say like 7 is more than 6, and 8's more than 7. Well, 8 is a lot more than 7 or 6. You look at 8 cards, and you basically can almost always find what you're looking for. Like that's so many cards to look at. Most effects like that are 3 or maybe 4, and it's good. 8 is ridiculous. 8 is you get what you want.
When Near Perfect Imitation was in the format, I found it rare that I didn't see a Near Perfect Imitation when I played Scrap Find Skimmer. Like I basically always found exactly what I needed.
Yeah, we don't get to see the
Probably
choice,
just gonna see.
unfortunately, from spectate mode, but discarded a lot of cards there, of course, but didn't get to don't get to see exactly what that was. But yeah, battling 4/4s here. That also is a good blocker for the short hopper.
So you it's kind of hard to remember the runes if you're on I'm so bad side because it's so rare they do something out of Avion's deck. But if you remember those exist, then you want to force this trade here,
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah, giving it so it's
because it's
ghost form, lifesteal, and unblockable on the other side of things, and that yeah.
yeah, where like that doesn't do anything on the Mandevilla.
Right.
Um,
All right, so yeah, Avyon is going to take that trade.
so that Amarok can be Aegis. You can also play out the Sanity Scorcher. Um,
All right, so Sanity Scorcher, a two. I haven't seen this much. A 2/2 for 3, double damage with stealth, intrigue 2 +2/+2, which we're not going to get here, and then ultimate at the start of your turn. Reveal it to play a Mind Fire, which exhausts 2 enemy units. Good in an aggressive deck. That exhaust can definitely come up when they're trying to stabilize with
it's also,
blockers.
it's also just randomly a soldier.
Is it really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
you can exhaust it. Garu Lee.
Nice.
Uh,
Although, if the board's open, it's less damage, right? You'd rather attack for 4 than for +3.
yeah. Um,
All right, exploit here is gonna take. Ooh, Houndmaster.
yeah, I think it's Houndmaster.
Yeah, I think
It's
those
just
units,
so
the
much
four
more,
fours are more important. Yeah.
and it opens up going around Avion's board where Amarok just gets big, and then you can either block it, like that Mandevilla trades with it if it gains Aegis, or if
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't gain Aegis, you can use some removal on it.
Right. Well, that Davio is pretty good though. I mean, that's a big. That 6/6 body is pretty big.
The 4 cost ability on Davia comes up so incredibly often that I I think playing like the tempo Davia, and kind of the kind of sarcastic, just playing out a unit with a summon for little effect, just
Sure.
calling it a tempo play, like the mediocre beats of value games, uh, is like it's Davia has a huge effect while it's in play. Uh,
It does. That just that body is so relevant. You look at it and you look at the summon ability and you think that's what it is. It is the summon ability, but the unit's more than just the summon ability, like you said. Getting that 6/6 and yeah, that 4 ability, pay 4 to stun an enemy unit. When you have as much power as Avyon does, feel free, fire that off.
yeah, it's also a 6/6 for uh, Rune of Illusion.
Yeah, that's true.
So, what else is in their market?
In I'm so bad's market.
Yeah, for that. Okay, there's just a bunch of stuff you want to draw on an invasive species. There's no
Yeah,
more. I like their choice to not play Privilege because Justice Sigil doesn't have very much value when you have a low curve. You have Crafty Occultist that's 4 influence symbols on a 3 cost card. You have Amarok, which is 2 influence on two. Like Justice Sigil is just providing power. Not that it provides influence in a lot of the other decks, but the decks that go longer can just use power better. Where aggressive decks tend to care a bit more about influence, and once they have that influence, the extra power that the Priv would provide, it isn't doing enough. Like you're not getting it often enough to warrant playing Justice Sigil.
Really thinking about this one
Crystallize is
here.
a
Yeah.
scary card for Avione
It really is.
because they can't end the game that quickly here. They're stunning stuff, but
Yeah.
they're kind of treading water, which is fine if you're a controlling deck and you think you have the better top end. But once Crystallize hits, it's a couple turns of, well, stunning is probably not going to be enough.
Yeah. It's true. And going wide just makes that even worse because the wider that I'm so bad goes with threats that can deal damage, the worse that stun ability on Davia gets. Now Avyon has nothing else to do with the power. You know, they can just do the ghost form, but otherwise just start stunning things because Avyon's just drawn more and more power. But yeah, if I'm so bad can hit that crystallize, that's gonna do a lot of damage.
Shorthopper's quickly earning the title of best merchant in Expedition.
I like it. I like it. To be Grenadin Kieran merchant here. Smuggler.
Ostrich side eye.
Alright, so Davia is going to stun the Crafty and the Short Hopper this turn. Jez with a quick win over Phoenix on the back table.
Yeah, so is just going to get back the. I guess they can also attack with the Daru Lee. I like that.
Yeah, like you said,
Rather than saving the
stun the soldier to make it 5-4, and yeah, this is a free attack.
They also don't know I'm so bad has the power to get back the crystallize. It's one of the many benefits of waiting to play your cards till you need to is if that power had been played first, Avion might have jump blocked.
Yeah, good point. The little small edges there to make a difference. Yeah, getting back this crystallize, and that's gonna be real tough for Avyon. Ooh, Avyon did top deck a Davia though. Anything good in here that can hit though? That's unfortunate. Avyon doesn't have any big spells though.
It hits an exploit.
It exploits Voidbound from the.
No, there's two exploits.
Oh, there's two. Okay, there's the second one right there. I missed it. All right.
That
Yes.
hits crystallize.
All right, you can snag the crystallize. There you go, and get another 6/6.
Incidentally, having exploit line up how you want it to. Like one play pattern that I think people sleep on in. I guess now it comes up less often when people really don't play a lot of grafters, but in games you expect to go longer, you should save your exploit to snipe the card they get out of the market because they spent a lot of resources getting it. And it's going to be better than just taking their best card before they go to the market.
How does that line up because you also are sacrificing there, though? You're paying a cost and not plundering away power, so you're missing out on a card by waiting a lot of times. So if they're empty-handed or if they're down on one and you know they don't have anything, you wait, but you're missing out on a trove, right? Or maybe you're not missing out, but you're delaying that trove because you're not casting it.
So if they're getting down to few cards in hand, I might play it sooner and not go for that. But if they have a lot of cards in hand, and I expect them to go to the market, then that's when I wait. But if I don't expect them to go to the market soon and they have few cards in hand, then I'll just play it out. But often I don't like playing exploit on two. I like playing it either the turn before there's a scary thing in the matchup. Like if their scariest card is a 7-drop, I want to play exploit on turn 6 to give them the best odds of drawing the thing before I play the exploit, or I do the merchant line. But sometimes you just have to get value out of exploit when you can, and you just have to fire it off before they run out of cards.
Yep, makes sense. Big draw off of that treasure trove for Avyon. That's another copy of Scrap Find Skimmer, and that's going to be able to have Avyon find something else that they need. The question is, can they afford to cast that instead of triggering? Actually, they could do both, I think. You have to give up one of your sketches, your amplified powers, but if you're happy to do that, you can still stun with Davia and you can cast the Skimmer.
I wouldn't mind giving up the primal sketch here.
Yeah.
It's just so slow.
Absolutely it is.
It's funny that even in Feln, the Shadow Rune is coming up more often than the Primal Scout.
Yeah, you wouldn't think by looking at them, but it
Just
has come up.
gaining life is gonna get you more value than this. Oh, I'll pay 12 total and eventually get a card. Like I think Primal Sketch is still a powerful card, but it's still right to play, but it does not come up very often.
Yep, gonna play it here. And gonna miss the amplify. Yep, good call. Gonna play out that sketch. Gonna go ahead and do it to stun a unit off of that Davia. I think that's a smart play there. And Crafty's a good draw for I'm So Bad though. Both players find the right cards. All right, a Mid-Chief Salus and a Sanctity Scorcher here.
Scorcher is interesting.
Yeah.
Like just exhausting two things. And
Yeah.
Avyoine won't know which it is. It could be a Crusader, could be a Scorcher.
It's true. We'll have to see what Avyoine put on top. This is going wide, like we talked about. This is going wide. More units than Avyoine can block. Ooh, Cover from the Storm was the top. That's a nice one.
I think that's just game.
Probably.
You play that, you amplify the Shadow Rune
Yeah, true.
on a Davia. You hit I'm So Bad down to 1.
Yeah. Well, we talked about how great Skimmer was at finding exactly what you need. How about a Cover from the Storm in this in this board state?
4-cost Hailstorm is still Hailstorm. It doesn't hit the Scorcher. That's an important thing.
Oh, because it's non-stealth units. Right. Okay. Doesn't hit the Scorcher. But like you said, that Ghost Form is going to get that lifesteal. That's going to put Avyoine back up to 12. Can only exhaust, can only pop the Aegis on this Davia.
I don't know how they survive here or I Am So Bad survive. Here, they can hit Avyoine down to 3.
3. Yeah, you can transform with
Daruli,
put 9, put it down to 3.
But then they have 2 blockers facing down.
The Davias can just stun, right? Davia just goes stun, and that's game over.
Salus, another soldier that you may not have noticed.
Look at that. That can't be a coincidence, right? I'm So Bad playing the Skycrag has got to be very well aware of what are soldiers here. You're right, Salus, another one.
This deck should be called Skycrag Soldiers.
Skycrag Soldiers, there you go. Well, that was only game 1, folks. So after all that, congratulations to Avyoine for taking that one. But that was just game 1. So let's take a look at Avyone's deck list while they're getting set up, because they probably take a breather after that. It was one of the longest game 1s I can remember. But here we go. Let's take a look at this Feln deck. I didn't see this one at first, but this Feln deck looks pretty sweet. I love a good solid Feln build, and I love the 4-ofs across the board. That always makes me feel good too.
Yeah, so this Feln list seemed like it somewhat standard. I think some lists are playing 4-channel, but 2-channel is probably enough when you have the scrap finds to find them. No strategize here, which I've seen some lists playing strategize to help hit power, but exploit, blueprints, wisdom, Crusader all help hit power.
All right, our players are ready for game 2, so let's check it out. Let's tell our players they're good to go. It looks like I'm So Bad on the play this game. Probably pretty important for I'm So Bad to get out and get developing early.
Decent hand here. They can go Daruli into Houndmaster probably.
2 Defiles, though. You got to be happy with that. 2 Defiles and a Mandevilla. That's good interaction, and that's what Avyoine wants in this matchup, is just cheap interaction. So 2 Defile, 3 Defile, Mandevilla, and then you can top it off with a Davia if you get there. But that seems like a good answer. Let's see if I'm So Bad's going to be able to go around that. Defile's going to have to take out this Houndmaster, though. Not going to let I'm So Bad go off and start making hounds.
Probably just guess I don't think there are any backlashes, at least not that I saw. So there's not a reason. Well, the reason to defile now is Amarok. Don't think. Oh, the reason to wait is it stops the Daruli from using the ability and hitting for more damage.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also just. Oh, if you defiled the Daruli, if Avyoine defiled the Daruli on their turn, they would have taken 2.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so they probably wanted to avoid that. But also, they should possibly expect I'm so bad to just not play into that defile. Leaving 2 power up is suspicious, and exhausting with the Daruli is just going right into that.
Yeah,
So I'm so bad could have just attacked with 2 units rather than exhausting.
that's true. And it did come back to bite him there because did get defiled there. Now second defile coming off. And it's funny when we talk about like a curve, we're not usually talking about 4, 5, 6, 7, but if you look at Avion's curve, expensive curve, if you will, or curve with an asterisk, it actually works out pretty well having defile, and then they got 5, 7, 6. So they got the Mandevilla into the Skimmer into the Davia. So if Avion can get there, probably plundering away here, going to plunder away into a Primal Sigil, they actually have that that nice curve if they can get the power up there, and that's going to be pretty brutal because those are 3 powerful effects in a row.
Oh yeah, and they have the power for the Mandevilla. They don't draw power for the Skimmer. If it's interaction, they're probably fine.
Right.
If it's another big thing, oh no, they're still not in trouble. They're at such a high life total, and they have a Mandevilla.
Yeah, it's a good place to be to say on this next turn, on turn 6, if it's a power, it's great. If it's a cheap interaction, it's great. Most things are good except for sort of your middle tier cards. Even depleted power is probably fine. You'd rather have it undepleted, but
It's a 4/4 lifesteal.
right. Yeah, when your removal comes attached to a 4/4 lifesteal against an aggro deck, that's pretty good. All right, well, I jinxed it with the depleted power, but still fine. I'm still not worried for Avyon here.
Not going to be able to block, so should be attacking.
Yeah, that's the classic heuristic, right? If you're not blocking, you should be attacking. And that depleted power is going to get 6 for Skimmer next turn at least. Potentially even 7 for Davia.
There's a like Grenadine Uprising. Damage matters less when your opponent has a big lifesteal thing on the board. Grenadine Uprising is the kind of card you want to use to close out a game. Not so impactful when you're behind on board, behind on life.
Mm-hmm.
You're not pressuring your opponent to play awkwardly enough that
That
you
making
can.
that Grenadine actually matters, yeah.
You want them to be having to block it. That's the ideal scenario when they're trading real cards, or if they're unable to block it and it's just sneaking through damage.
Right.
But doing literally nothing here.
Yeah, not really the best situation for that. This hand has worked out very fortunately for Avion. The interaction has lined up well against I'm So Bad. Avion's been able to hit all their power drops, has been able to move up the curve, and how smooth was it from the back-to-back defiles to their 5, 6, 7 here? It's been incredibly smooth. And now with this Skimmer going to be able to find, maybe we Skimmer just into an undepleted power just to make sure we Davia next turn, which is fine. You don't really think that you want to do that, but sure, if you could just get an undepleted power and turn on your 2 Davias, perfectly fine.
Power or Fall to Ruin are the
Yeah.
2 cards they want.
Another copy of Valise for I'm So Bad.
Oh, that's kind of good. They can attack with Salus and Valise, and oh, yeah, the Valise gets double blocked, and you just eat or you trade with the Skimmer. That's not that great.
Gonna make it 2-1. Now that does get bigger. It's gonna be a 3-2. It's only a 3-2 though. Free block for Avion.
The Mandevilla blocks that, I think, and then
Yeah,
we
and gains
discard a
4.
auto
Oof.
thread.
Attacking a 3-2 overwhelm into a 4-4 lifesteal cannot feel good. Instead, looks like gonna line up a block with the Crusader.
I think you're fine. They don't know that the last card is a Houndmaster, but gaining 4 life and
Yeah, it's fine
uh,
too.
yeah, that's fine
It's
too.
fine. Just get a 2-2 out of it, get another unit. I think either one of those blocks is fine. I think the 4. Well, I don't actually know. Is the 4 life better than the 2-2? I guess you can always get the 2-2 later, but maybe playing around some sort of spell or something that can eat the Mandevilla and don't want to lose it.
Oh, okay. This game's over now.
Ooh.
Uh, Davia's you can he's going Davia into Davia. Uh,
Yeah, that should. Well, so we have blueprints. We have cover from the storm.
I don't
Defiles.
like I don't like that chump because it opens up some world where Avyoine doesn't have to play cover from the storm. The 4 life isn't worth the
Well, is it the 4 life or is it the
opening
1
yourself up.
damage? Is it the 1 damage on the Mandevilla so that
Or
cover from the storm would kill it?
oh, that's yeah. Is there even a cover from the storm in the void?
There is, yeah. My thought on that, and I could be very wrong, but my thought was seeing the cover from the storm meant, well, I'm going to put 1 point of damage on the Mandevilla so that if you do that, you lose your Mandevilla too.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense then. Uh, but then also they're gaining 4 life, so they can potentially just say, "Oh, I'm not going to play it this
Right.
turn."
That's the problem. Is there's also 2 defiles in there, so Avyoine just says, okay, fine, I'll just defile a unit instead, and you just lost a unit for no value. Hey, Fez the Druid, thank you so much. I appreciate you following. I like your little hats. Yeah, it's unfortunate you have to attack in like this. I mean, yeah, you can do the flash fry to take out the unit, but you're still 2 for 1ing yourself. I mean, yeah, I mean, 3 for 1ing yourself? I don't know exactly what the exchange rate was there, but it wasn't good.
Wouldn't be surprised to just see a Davia stun Crusader attack for 12.
Yeah, sure. There you go. There it is. You called it. Stun, attack for 12. And you got to feel good when you're the slower control deck and you're the one with the foot on the gas attacking and stunning blockers. That means things are going really wrong or really right. And I think they're going right in this scenario. All right, back tables. As I
Yeah,
mentioned, Jez wins, goes to 3-1. Male has won and gone to 3-1. Alexandros Gray to 3-1. So congratulations to those players to go up to 3-1, setting themselves in really good position for top 8.
yeah. So this well, soon to be 2-0 is symptomatic. It's hard to win against Feln when your aggressive deck is playing auto tread and